Good morning, good evening, or good night, folks. I'm your host, Simon Redhand, and today we're going to be playing BELLWRIGHT. Now, I put up a few videos of this game already. I did an initial preview where when it's not beta, it's in early access, and when the early access started, I gave the game an hour, so checked it out, gave my thoughts, threw that up there, and I actually really liked the game. So I started over again, put like 6 hours on this one, and now that I actually understand what I'm doing, I got a better idea what's going on, I figured I'm going to start over and just start my series from episode 1 and kind of walk you guys through my thought process and kind of put together some scenes and basically, I guess, get a little mini guide going, right? I got pretty far in the first one. I got to the town hall. So, it probably could have gotten there faster if I was more focused and honed in, but I actually got a better idea what I'm doing, how to start, a better idea how to do the logistics. So I'm going to go ahead, go from scratch, let you guys see from the beginning how I lay this city out, and as these patches come through, I'm going to keep building on this city and building on this city, and we go through it together, because I'm actually really enjoying this game. I'm going to go through here right now and just create a new character. I don't like the character creator so far. Like I said in the first one, I think it's kind of shallow. And the main thing that kind of irritates me is the fact that there's zero skin tone action going on here. And I ain't one of those guys, but come on. Skin tones. Sliders. Anything. Alright, so we'll go through here and we'll put something together real quick and then we'll get to the beginning of the game. Alright. I'm probably going to skip this opening scene because I already see. Actually, whatever. I'll let it run through. But if you guys know, the opening story is basically you witnessed the prince getting killed and then you had to go on the run. Your family also got killed.
Isn't it funny how one small decision can have consequences that ripple through history? Or are we victims of a predetermined path? Was it chosen for you the day you visited your favorite woods on your 10th birthday? Was it destiny that the royal family were hunting there at the same time? From a tree on high, you watched as Prince Voldar and Princess Osen laughed, talked, and tracked wild animals without a care in the world. And you watched in helpless horror as a stray arrow bolted through the trees, hitting the prince in the chest like a lightning strike. Just like that, the prince was dead. And when the princess found you standing over her brother's dead body, it felt as though the gods were playing a cruel trick on you all. In the panic and confusion, you ran from the scene as fast as your legs would carry you. Fueled by rage and grief, the king demanded the head of any child who fit your description. Fearing for your life, your father asked a friend to bring you far away. Away from the king's wrath. In the middle of the night, you were taken from your home and brought away on horseback. In tears, you called out to your mother, but it was too late. Your old life was over. For years, you hid from the royal family, your resentment growing. You heard stories of your homeland, the rise and fall of a rebellion, the death of the king, and the reign of the evil Queen Osen. But on the eve of your 20th birthday, your guardian, the man who smuggled you out of Carvinia and kept you safe all these years, was brutally killed by a mysterious assassin. As he died in your arms, his hand clutched a coin with a strange sigil emblazoned upon it, a clue. Now, you have returned to your homeland for answers. Through choice or through fate, vengeance would be yours. But how will you fare in a land you no longer recognize?
You know, I really do hope they go all in on the story mode on this one. I know it's a co-op game, but it has a lot of a single-player element to it. And I hope they really go dive in and get a deep story going. All right, so when I first started this game out, I just kind of wandered off and I was like, oh, what do I need in order to start my base off? I didn't really have a good idea. We collect all this stuff here. There's just some notes here. I'm not really reading these right now. I think later on, when the beta gets further on, I'll start paying more attention to what those note pickups are. But I do know there's a box up here that you should pick up. And then the most important thing when you start off is just getting a good base location. Last time I made my base in a place that I thought it would work out. I thought it'd be good, and I ended up moving it, and then I ended up moving it again. But now I understand what's important in terms of what materials you really need to keep track of early game, because you don't have access to farms for a while. You don't have access to, I guess, proper materials, and you don't want to have to send your troops hiking farther and farther out. The map's not cleared out yet, but we're gonna go through here and get this main story started. But what I'm looking for at the beginning when I start my first base is I'm gonna need a place where I get a nice access to stone, nice good access to not like mining, like loose stone pits. There's a few of those places around here. Nice clean access to trees, like you need a nice renewable source, and you need it for where you put your traps down and stuff like that. And your guys can clear cut pretty quickly. And you need good access to the small gatherable flowers like flax, reeds, sage. Not so much sage, but mainly flax. You need to make sure you got flax just coming in, right? So what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna start the main story quest up. This is gonna tell you to go make a little shelter or whatever. You're gonna tell you your story about what you're doing with your why you're here, all that stuff here. But I personally don't think the story is worth listening to at all, as long as it has this AI placeholder crap in there. So we're gonna build your first personal shack. We're gonna turn off all these pop-ups because I actually already know what all these things are. I have an idea where I'm gonna put it so far, because when I played the first time, I found a pretty decent location. It is very close to most of the resources you need. The only thing you probably have to trek for is some reed, but I'm gonna position my base in a way where getting to reed shouldn't be too debilitating. Now, reed's very important because you need reed later on to make your arrows. It makes your quivers and stuff like that. But let's head over there. So flax is very important, but so when the game starts off, it kind of cordons off the region, right? You cannot gather in you see this white area here, you cannot gather near the cities because it's considered to be part of that city's estate. So you gather here, if you hunt in these areas, it'll be considered theft and you would lose reputation with the guys, and they won't like you. And you need reputation. Reputation is your currency. It allows you to get more quests. It allows you to recruit more villagers, because you need basically to get reputation thresholds to get higher level villagers. Now you can get some low level dudes and try to build them up, but it takes a really long time. And every village has like some starter weak NPCs you can get that they're really cheap, but they have negative traits attached to them. But they're good for starting, because when you first start off, their stats don't matter as much as just getting bodies. You need bodies to do things. You need bodies to move. You need guys to port materials around. You need guys to be in your base, just putting things together. Now you can get a little kill squad going, all right? Because a lot of the early materials require you to buy them, because you're not gonna be able to unlock them for a while. But if you want, you can get a little entourage going and just go on a little bandit sprees where you just kind of hack bandits down as fast as you can, right? So I'm just gonna gather some stuff together. I went too heavy on the flax. I'm gonna get rid of the sage, because sage I don't need at all right now. Ooh, look at that. I managed to get you can hold alt and click and it'll drop everything. I don't need sage right now, but I do need wood, and I need a lot of flax, right, just to make your initial base. And these small saplings give you wood straight out the gate without needing a hammer, or I mean an axe. So it's good to start with picking up these, right? And then you can just go here and quick craft your axe, right? I need to get some stone too, so let me pick up some stone on the way. Alrighty, so I know it's nighttime now, but I have to go through and reveal the map so I can kind of give you guys a good idea of what I've got planned. So this is where you start off. Erdine, this is going to be your main hub. You're going to be spending a lot of time here, and then your next city is going to be passed down. This is the location I chose to start my base out for a number of reasons. One of the big ones is the fact that it's got a good source of all the early plants that you need. You got sage, you got flax. It's not showing up on the map, but they're all here, right? You got a nice renewable source of them. You got hemp, right? Even though it seems kind of spaced out, it's not bad because your guys can travel. So I figured I start my base on this crossroad here, and then just make right with the fact that you're gonna have to do some traveling. You need a good source of copper ore, you need a good source of tin, and knowing where both of these resources are early game is very important, right? I had to take some time to explore the map to reveal it, just so I can give you guys an idea what I got going on in my head. And with the fog of war, I had to basically clear everything out just so we can see what I'm doing here. Your important starting resources is wood. You need a good amount of wood, a good amount of stone, and a good amount of access, I would say, to the initial ore, which is going to be copper ore and tin ore. So I know where these 3 ore spots are, so I decided to reveal them all. And right here is the river reeds, which you're going to need later on. Your guys do a fair amount of traveling, so you don't have to build right on it. And now that I understand how the logistics work a bit better, I have the idea that I'm going to set up my main town here and then start creating outposts for these other logging points. And the only thing I need to have in constant supply is wood, logs, and stones, so I can get my base expanded and keep it going. Not only that, I gotta make sure I know where flax is at all time, which is in this whole valley here. This valley here is filled with flax, sage, hemp, all that good stuff, and mushrooms, because mushrooms are an easier sustainable source of food than hunting animals early game. All right, so after we go to the shack, now it's important to build. Like if you look at my location here, we put all this stuff out of my bag here. Get this food out. We're gonna probably eat it. All this stuff's gonna go bad. It's gonna take a while for me to put together what I need to keep this thing up and running. So you can do 3 different types of food, and they all increase your health and stamina and your regen and all that good stuff there. Now this location is important because I chose a road, because you require a road to do any fast traveling in this game, and your fast travel sign can only be placed near a road. So once you unlock fast travel, you need to have a road nearby so you can actually get that going. So we got this going. I know the first quest is going to tell me to go find this NPC over in the corner there, and we'll do that after. The first day is going to be spent basically building all the stuff that you can build here. When you go over to the is it settlement tab? No, not settlement tab. It's the building tab here. I'm going to be building all of these items here before I go in and start the next quest here. Just because I think it's very important to get all the stuff done. It's going to ask you for a housing tent. You can just lay all the stuff out now and then come back for it. But it's going to ask you for a housing tent, which I'm going to do. Now, you got to keep in mind, when you start building this stuff, it will start to remove your dedicated resources here. So you don't want to build on these points here, because in a small radius where you put stuff down, it's going to stop respawning this stuff here. So you want to keep it so that it doesn't lock off your resources that you want to make use of, right? Now, I really need a bunch of houses. I'm only doing 1 for now, but I already know, like, I need at least 4 or 5, right? The research desk is gonna go up. I like putting that near the well, it's weird because it allocates the space, but it takes up less space than it needs for crafting. So it's hard to lay things out early on because it won't let you put it down because you don't have the space to do it until it's finished, until it's fully built. Get a camp chest going, just so I'm going to need more storage, of course. You always need more storage in these survival games. What's a good place to put this? So I'll put it right here. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. That works. And then what else? The campfire, so I can start cooking some of that food I got going. We're not going to put the campfire in the middle of the pack, but yeah. I don't want to take up the road, but I do want to put it somewhere where it's kind of communal. Let's see. Where's a good? I'm feeling like this is gonna be a good spot for it. I just need to make some more space for it. Right now, the only space it's showing me is the road itself, and I don't want to do that. Ah, you know what? That works for me. Okay, and then what else do I need here? I think that's it. So these are the 3 more important things. I actually do think it's important to start naming your stuff just for the sake of organization. Like I like naming my shack. Usually when these games give me a chance to name stuff, I always go with the Atrium. Not sure why. Just been a thing I've been doing. This is gonna be my main city. I'm gonna build everything around here when I get the main townhouse going. We're gonna be building it all of it around here. So I'm gonna put all this up together and we'll come back in here, okay? Now you guys gotta keep in mind when you're out here gathering for wood, it doesn't mean cut down trees. So trees can only be cut down into logs. And when you cut a tall tree down, it'll cut down into 2 pieces of log, right? Like this. But early on, you need wood, and you don't have the tools to break logs into wood until you unlock the wood cutting station. So you don't need logs right at the beginning. Well, you need logs for certain things, but you don't need you need to find young trees also if you just need the small pieces of wood, or you need to pick up wood off the ground itself, which is kind of annoying, right? Now this thing here, the personal shack, I know it needs logs. So you need to make sure you can come to the spot here. Like you see this construction camp spot. You can put the materials there so it comes out of your inventory quickly, and then you can have it allocated. But I know I need logs, so I'm cutting them down. But I also need to find the small trees, so I'm gonna be doing that also. But it's good that I found all these early foods while I was running around because it helps with the stamina gain and such. This small axe, you're gonna be using it for a while. But you want to get your workbench up and running so you can repair it as quickly as possible, because you don't want to be having to craft a bunch of axes. I mean, it's not really taxing to make the early axe, but later on it is going to add up to, and it's going to be a problem trying to keep these going, right? All right, so we're going to go through, get a bunch of wood. For the wood, it's the young trees. Every time you chop the young trees, you get a couple woods. And then here, I'm just going to go through here and just basically clear cut everything here. Now you're forced to kind of get the right angle, or it's not gonna, it's gonna give it to you, but it's gonna be tedious. It's gonna be swinging like it's gonna do combat, and it's gonna take stamina. So if we don't hit the right angle, gathering the trees is gonna be very difficult. I need help, but I don't have a lot of inventory space, so right now I'm focusing purely on wood until I get all these things done, and then I'll come back and get the rest of the stuff I need. That's a normal tree. It's going to cut down. So young trees are what they're looking for right now. And I just need straight up wood. Now this is why you need a stone. It takes a while before you unlock the ability to make the pickaxe. And even when you do, it's difficult to make because you need straps. I'm pretty sure you need straps. Or you need a material that's it's not a high level material, but it's a difficult material for you to get early game because the only source of it is by selling stuff to a vendor who sells you 1 strap a day, or by getting your squad together and taking down some bandits, which is very, very difficult to do. Bandits are aggressive as heck. Melee combat's very hard, so the only real efficient way of hunting bandits in the early game is, well, I don't even know when it stops being efficient, is using the bow. Using the bow, picking them off from a distance, and not fighting the army that's going to show up. I've yet to find bandits one-on-one. They're always rolling 3 deep, 4 deep, squatted up, right? I stayed up the entire night, so it wants you to sleep, but I did not sleep. What am I looking for? I'm looking for more stone, right? More stone and more wood. It was very dark, and I was noticing that, but I should probably put a torch together. Alright. I got a feeling that I got almost everything I need for my initial buildings that I put down here. Let me go over there and check. The construction system's kind of cool because you got to kind of just place each piece one by one. It's an interesting system here. I think it resembles Last Oasis. It's been a long time since I played Last Oasis, so I don't remember quite well. Yeah, and then I have some food in here, don't I? So what I've noticed is when you put food into the fireplaces, it won't cause them to decay. So it's a good way to store some of your food here, so you won't lose it. But we are gonna cook some of this food. The wood down and get it going. I need to pick up some flax. I have to go back and do that. I can start building this stuff now, but I'm just gonna wait until I get all my stuff together. So that down. What's this missing? This flax. Everything is flax. We're gonna go on a little flax hunt right now, and that's why we got this location the way it is, because I know flax is just right over here, right? Yeah, I have altogether on this game maybe like 10-15 hours, and even though it's early and it's got some issues, and I don't really like putting a lot of time into early access games, something about this game's mechanics are very addictive. Like, I was gonna go try out Mana Lords also. That's more RTS than survival, but I was really surprised by the ideas they had here with the I don't need this right now. What the ideas they have here with the management and the city building, and I was like, this game is actually really, really cool. My only thing it's really great to me is the combat system. I know it's early access and they're working on it, but I think it's too far from where it needs to be. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a rule or something where it's like survival games need to have mediocre to terrible combat, especially if there's no guns involved. If it was just melee, it's got to be the worst combat you can think of. Like, whatever you think is the worst combat, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna intensify it even further than that. I've never understood why combat is gonna be one of the most, I guess, important things or aspects of the game, and why don't devs put a great deal of effort into making sure that it's like, I don't know, I would say on that Dark Souls level or that Sekiro level, you know, where it's like, it's engaging, there's combos, there's interactions, whatever, but it's always this just basic, you know, swings, hacks, stuff like that, where it's like, this could be way better. It could be way more thought in putting this. Even a simple combo system and a counter system and a parry system would go so far in these games. Hopefully, I mean, this game's early access. Hopefully, that's what they have planned for it. But right now, the melee combat, I'm gonna make an intense effort to actually level up melee, because before I didn't even have my strength high enough to use two-handers. That's what I kind of want to do. And I was using bows the entire time, to the point where I got my bow so high that I couldn't do anything else. And I just like, you know, I started, let's finish. But I'm not really an archer. I don't like range combat. I don't mind range for hunting, but I certainly don't want to have a range. I have to be ranged for the entire time. So I'm hoping that I can do a melee playthrough. Maybe it's just a skill issue. The issues between the keyboard and the monitor, as they say. And as I learn how to really control my character and play correctly, then I will learn how to properly do the combat, and then I'll end up being able to fix it and address the issues that I was having with it. Where am I going to put this workbench? I'll put this workbench near their hut, so they don't. Actually, no. I need some space for it, because they're gonna have to be using it unimpeded with no issues. So we'll put it over here. So I have the stone. Do I have everything? I have everything for it. Okay, cool. All right, let's put this together real quick. Okay, so these are all the initial structures done. The outhouse is not really that important. The only real function of the outhouse is if you want to delete items. Later on, you'll start to have a lot of items coming in, and you're not going to know what to do with them. And unless you're a pack rat, which I am, you're not going to want to constantly keep building storage to make use of the new materials, right? So you get the outhouse, and then you can use the outhouse to delete items as they come in, and that will free up some space going forward. I'm gonna make my way back to the camp to get these quests done so I can unlock my first helper and then really get started. We don't want to waste too much time, because we got to get started getting your... If you look at the top of my screen there, I have the gold, which is 72, and I also have that blue symbol, which is renown. You need a lot of renown. Now, renown never goes down, it only goes up, but it gets reserved when you claim villagers and claim other things with it, but right now it's just villagers. So when you claim villagers, it reduces your renown. When you let those villagers go back, you get your renown back. So you want to make sure your renown pool is as big as it can be, so you can get as many villagers as you can afford to purchase. And I would say reserve is the best way to kind of think about it. Now if you take a look at the mini map right now, as I entered Harndine's area, it shows some important things there, which is that says stranger. It means that's my reputation, and that reputation is what you're trying to increase, and you're only increasing that by doing quests for the village. And you're doing a lot of quests, or you can just go on a massacre of bandits, which is how I basically leveled it up on the last playthrough I was doing, is just get out there and just slaughter bandits. Every time you slaughter bandits, you get about 25-50 renown. They respawn often. They're always patrolling. These camps can be shut down and they relocate, and it's kind of cool to go out there and do that. However, it takes a bit of a foundation to get yourself to a point where you can slaughter bandits, and right now it's an untenable plan to go after bandits, because they are highly aggressive and very, very difficult. So we're going to focus on the basics of getting your camp started, getting your guys on rotation so they can get you gathering your wood and getting your camps going, and that's it, right? These are all lore points. So this guy's gonna tell me to go out there and go get the NPC that's out in the woods, which is basically your first free follower. And this guy he's pretty good at everything, right? He's pretty decent at doing almost everything you need him to do, so you can keep him as a jack of all trades, and he's a fairly solid start for your camp. I gotta go find this lady. She's pretty far out there. Usually she's right beside him. It's the first time like she's way out here, so I gotta go run out here and talk to the lady who's gonna tell me where to find this guy. There she is. I don't know where she's going. I don't know why you're all the way out here, lady. Usually she's like right beside him.
Perhaps bring a book so you.
All right, so let me go find Lubomir. Well, Lubomir, I ran past him on the way over here. I know where he is, so I usually start my first camp right beside him. I say usually, like I've been playing this game for decades. The last 2 times I played, I started my game right beside this guy just so I can quickly claim him. I don't really have to. He's not that far, and you're only going to get him once, and he pretty much agrees to come with you, provided you have a housing tent for him, which is why it's a good idea to build a housing tent before you even bother going after Lubomir, because you know he's going to ask for it, so there's no point of wasting time. You gotta skip a step here.
What are you? You don't look like that.
Like I said, I don't think it matters what the lore is just yet, just because it's kind of AI'd out, and I don't want to hear it. Get back to Lubomir Netherby. What's this? Yeah. Yes, your home is ready. Let's go. So he follows you immediately. Now, there are some stuff you can do with this guy. Like we can go find some wolves and kind of show off the combat system a bit, because it's kind of cool. Now, if you're like me, you want to kind of go through this survival thing, not using any NPCs. You kind of have to resist the urge to go through this and fight without using your companions, because they put in so much work early game that they can alleviate some of the pressures you have while playing out here. And one of the biggest pressures you're gonna have is fighting bandits and wolves. So your early companions can help you with that by taking a few hits. They're gonna go down. The wolves do insane damage because you have nothing on. Bandits do even more damage than that for the exact same reason. Until you get gear in place, it's very difficult to mess with any of these things. But you need the materials they're giving. You need the pelts, you need the food, right? So it's a good idea. So I'm gonna go find some wolves, and then I'm also going to go buy the strap from the first NPC that sells straps, because you also need straps. Now, as you can see, when you get close to enemies, you see a red dot show up. You can pull up the map and mouse over to see what it is, and it's a wolf. Wolves have a chance of being in groups of 2 to 3, but most of the time, from what I've seen, they're by themselves. This one, there's 2 here, but I don't think they're close enough to aggro, and you can kind of body pull them. So you see, when he starts howling, you know he sees you, so you let him go. Now, there we go. So when you have your NPC with you, you guys can just kind of run through things really quickly. Now, what's also cool is you can give him orders, right? So you get the little flag going. Let me get the other wolf close enough so I can see where he is. and you can kind of just send Lubomir after him. You can have up to 3 companions, I believe. So you can send all your companions after when you do it that way. So let's let me go find the other wolf. There he is. So you can just put the flag right on him, and then if he wasn't already attacking, he would start attacking, right? I keep missing. Keep missing. See, it's not the combat itself is not directional based in terms of where your weapon is. Your crosshair has to actually be on him, or you will just miss. Now, using Lubomir to help you kill the initial wolves is great, just because you need those initial pelts. And you come this gentleman here. This guy here sells one of the more important early game materials, which is straps. Now, you need straps and ropes to build the item to build straps and ropes. So the only way to really get it going is to buy them, right? So you can take the so the only thing this guy buys is wood, and he buys wood 2 at a time, right? So you can use this guy to kind of sell some stuff to get some early coin. But the only thing I want to buy from this guy is this. I only want to buy the straps from him because it's very important to have a strap going. Ropes and all that, you'll get ropes going early on, later on when you need them. You'll get carpenter's hammer going very early on, also later on too. But you can, if you want, you can sell some stuff to get from him. It's not that bad. I mean, he only wants wood, but that number there, that's 18 that's how much he's gonna buy per day. And days reset if you just grind through the day and it goes day to night, or you can go to sleep as soon as it goes nighttime. I'm gonna go here, gather some more sticks and harvest and stuff like that, and then get him to. Can I give him that harvest? I gotta give him an axe and he'll harvest with me, but I don't have a weapon for him right now. I mean, I could make one, but I don't care. I'll give it to him. I'm gonna send him back to town in a second here. We're gonna kill a few more wolves and then we're gonna head back. But I'm gonna stay here until I get the 18 wood, and then just sell it to him, and then buy that carpenter's axe also, and then that's it. Now, if you are really pressed for straps and you're struggling to get your stuff together, you can go through and every day when the sun comes up, you come down to this guy and buy another strap. He won't talk to me with my weapon out, so I said put it away. All right, so, and then I'll buy this, and then we're good to go. All right. We're gonna go over here and we're gonna kill a few more wolves, and then we're gonna head back to town. Where is this next wolf at? Oh, that's not a wolf, that's a boar. I don't know if a boar is a good idea right now. We're gonna do it anyway. Whatever, we're up here. Let's go. Boars are social, and they aggro from a huge different distance away. There was another boar that could make line of sight, it would immediately run in. But they're super strong too. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. They give some decent meats. They give the big pieces of meat. Alright, we're gonna go back and cook that before it spoils out, so we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to spoil that meat. That's actually pretty good meat. Just throw it on the roast. The thing about meats and stuff like that is they go bad very fast. So you want to get to the smoker as quickly as you can, just so you don't waste your foods, right? I'm gonna head back to my main camp, and I'm gonna probably go on a little bandit spree here because I want to get to my bow as quickly as possible. Let me just get a quick look at what's required for the bow again. You can go through the tech tree here, and it'll tell you the order of stuff that what to do next to unlock what. Unlocking the bow is very important, so for that you need simple cord to river reed, which I am gonna get. While I'm here, I might as well pick up some river reeds since I am here already, just so I can make sure I can unlock it. If you want to really rush the bow, you can come to that guy and you can buy the simple cord required to unlock the bow, because you need 8 of them. So you buy 6 today and then come back tomorrow and buy another 2, and then that way you can get the bow unlocked faster than when it takes to unlock the wheel. Sorry, the weaver's wheel, I believe it is. See if I get him to harvest some river reed with me while I'm here. I don't know how to make your companions better at gathering. I think you just need to get their skills above like 5 or 6. That's when you really start to notice their efficiency cranking up. But before that, they're just really slow, and they're kind of like they kind of like slow to react and slow to respond to things. All right, we're gonna head ourselves all the way back, and then we're gonna go back to town. Now, I don't need to actually run back to town with Lubomir. I can really just open up the settlement, the population, pick up Lubomir here. Like right now, we set the companion, and we say, "Yo, you're gonna be a worker." And then it's very important to set these up early. These are the priorities of what he can do, and it's only showing what I have currently unlocked. Right now, Lubomir's attributes, he gets, see, this number shows what he's currently at, and this will show what he can max out to. And some guys, they can only max out to like 2 or 3 or 4 like that. The max level for each of the attributes is 10. So it kind of shows that Lubomir, oops, I'm kind of like auto running into the wrong direction here. So if you take a look at Lubomir, you'll see that even though he's pretty decent, he's kind of a jack of all trades. He's gonna be average just because of the fact that he caps out at 5 or 6 at most things, and you get to really like dig into money in order to get NPCs that have all their things at 10, right? Or specific things at 10, because you don't need your guy to be a universal awesomeness. You just need him to be able to specialize in a few things. Lubomir is your first in companion, so he's very good to have him be good at almost everything, because then as you get more companions, you can weed off the stuff he's doing and kind of focus him in on doing a specific task, right? Let me put these meats down. I'll have Lubomir focus on cooking them and stuff like that so they don't go bad. I would build, so I'm going to do some more building here. I would build a food chest here and have it, so let me go into that. Storage chests are interesting because right from the jump, you have a lot of control over what you could do with them. So early on, you want to get to organizing immediately so you can understand where things are and have your NPCs put things in the right place right from the beginning. And it makes it so that they don't get stuck bottleneck. Because what will happen is if you have a bunch of chests going on, they will literally just move things from that chest to this chest, that chest to this chest, and it'll just go back and forth, right? So if you want to make sure that your things are kind of organized so that they don't get stuck in a loop, try to put just moving things back and forth. Now that might be a bug that's going to get hot fixed out. You don't have to worry about it later on. And then from after that's fixed, then you just worry about chests in the sense of it's a great organizational tool. But for now, I noticed that if you have too many chests around, your NPCs get kind of goofy and they don't know what to do next, and they do silly things with the chest. This is gonna be my food chest because I'm gonna have a smoker here soon and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna put this chest together, and then they're gonna use this chest to only put food into it. And for now, since Lubomir's here, I'm going to have Lubomir focused on, well, he can't gather because we won't have the lumbering thing yet, but crafting things. So put crafting at 3. I'm going to put my researching at 1. This here is how quickly they move stuff from point to point. I'm going to put this to 1. It's very helpful to have it up higher so they make sure they prioritize moving things around. In early game, crafting and construction are going to be my most important tasks for these gentlemen to do. They're going to be equally important. Cooking, not so much. He'll do it eventually, but when you put something down, the goal is for him to go drop what he's doing and get it taken care of. Now let's take all this stuff out, and he won't use things that are in your personal chest, so you got to make sure to take it all out and put it into your into this chest here, right? Into any camp storage chest, because he's not going to use these things here. He's not going to take things out of this personal chest. This is supposed to be your stuff, and he won't touch it. And you're going to have to start making use of these chests, because there's so many times where when you need food and stuff like that, they burn through food so quickly, and you have to really just go out of your way to make sure that you watch it. I believe Lubomir wants you to make a trap also, which I'm gonna have to research traps. So we'll research small traps because that's for the quest, right? Yeah, it is. So he'll do that. to have this research so high. You can help him out. So all the research materials require these things to unlock. So right now it needs 5 wood, 2 flax. I already have the flax. I don't have the wood yet. We're gonna go on a wood chopping spree soon to take care of that. Now, so you could put the flax in here and I'll take care of that, and he'll just go gather the wood, right? You can also help him out by giving him an axe, right? But right now, without the lumbering camp, he doesn't know what to do with it. He uses a weapon, but you need him to gather wood up, and he'll just focus on picking it up off the ground just because he doesn't know where else to get it from yet. All right, let's see here. Let me go gather, get all this stuff taken care of, get a bunch of wood going, because right now I'm going to go on a wood spree. I'm going to gather about 100 or so wood. No logs at all, just small wood, just so I can take care of all of the minor tasks that require trees and wood and stuff like that. Get myself going. I went through here, I got this chest created, and this is gonna be my campfire chest for wood and stuff like that, for my meats and stuff like that. Now I went through here and organized this real quick. I turned off all resources except for wood. And what I'm going to do here is, because the campfire needs wood, I put a minimum of 10 wood to be in here at all times, up to a maximum of about, I'm going to say 20 or so. And what that means is your NPCs are going to go out of their way to make sure they keep a minimum pile of 10 to 20 in here, right? And then all the other food rations are going to go in here. Everything else, that's it. They can go somewhere else, but that's all I want to have in here. That way, NPCs will need to cook. They know there's wood here. The food's here. When the food is done, they're going to put it in here. I don't know, there's an ice box of some sort. I have not unlocked anything like that yet, but I find that this is very helpful, right? This is very helpful. I went through and named it Atrium Food Storage. That's just for my own personal, organization. You can name whatever the hell you want, but I find it helpful to make sure everything is named. For when you start having multiple camps and settlements, it's going to become a huge undertaking to try to remember where everything is, right? So put that there, put this food in here. Actually, I gotta eat one of these. You want to make sure you got 3 different pieces of food running at all times, just because it's very helpful to do that. So that's going there. Did he research this yet? No. Oh, this structure priority should be number 1, so that way he can actually go right away to use it when it's ready. I believe that's how it works. I'm still trying to understand this priority system. I don't know how important it is to make sure I set this priority on top of what he's doing, but I'll set this to 1. I'll also set this up there to be pretty high up there to go up to the side, so when I give tasks he'll make use of this also, but I don't know how important that is. And then for the campfire, well, he'll use it whenever he wants to use it, but yeah, so I don't know how important it is to make sure I set the priorities on the stations themselves, but I do know the priorities on the helpers will get them to decide what they're going to do next, right? Right now he's sleeping, so he's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so we're going to keep doing some more things here. What do I have to unlock? Not much yet. What I don't like about this system is the fact that I need him to do this. Like, I would really like to be able to do it on my own, so I can speed stuff up, because they have their own day-night cycle, and I don't want to waste my wake hours not being productive, and I don't really need to sleep as the leader of this burgeoning settlement. So it's kind of annoying that only your NPCs can research. Now, I haven't seen a need for have more than 1 research table. You can have more researchers, and maybe later on there's gonna be some value in it, but right now the 1 is good. And I did like 15-16 hours just to 1 single table, because well, I guess later on it might matter because the times are going up, but for the most part, most of the times are like between 2 to 3 minutes. And that's not counting the time it takes to move the resources, even when you have them, from your storage containers over to where you need them to be in order to get them into your research, right? Now, what's good to keep in mind is your research has a lot of common materials it uses. It uses a lot of wood, a lot of logs, a lot of flax, right? And what you can do is you can stockpile some of this stuff in here. Like wood is gonna be your most common, so you can just go in here and throw a stockpile of wood in there, throw a stockpile of flax in there, and that way it'll kind of save your time on what you need, right? Now this volume, it counts how many pieces you can put in here, and not everything takes one. Like these small pieces take one, but logs I believe take like 9, right? And stones might take like 2 or 3. So that volume when you throw 100, it'll basically say it's full, and you have to take some stuff out. But it is a good way to basically set up and have your NPCs get a little conga line going of researches, one back to back to back, because you can set up research projects from anywhere. You don't have to touch that table to do it, and it's good to be able to give them something else to do and save their walking, because they're slow and the AI it's not there yet, right? So you want to minimize the time it takes for them to navigate the world itself, right? So you put things in here as you need to, and they will basically complete it as they can. So I have an idea what I need next. So I'm putting some wood in here, putting some logs in there. I'm going to put some flax in there, put some berries in there later on, and then get all those initial researches completed as quickly as possible. And of course, as you unlock more things in the tree, more things will come out. But I have an idea of what's important, because I know what I want to kind of rush towards. And it's going to be in order: foraging camp, the logging camp. Actually, logging camp to be first, then foraging camp, then the bloomery, so I could start smelting. But there's no big rush for it just yet, because I don't have a pickaxe yet. And then the elm bow, and once you get the elm short bow, you can just go on a rampage and start murdering bandits. Or the plank shield, either one of these will help you. Plank shield if you want to stick to melee, elm short bow if you want to keep it ranged, and of course the elm short bow is going to help you with hunting animals, of course, right? Which is a whole other thing, which I'm going to get into later on. All right, so I pretty much got everything done. I stockpiled this to the brink. My helper is kind of sleeping, and I gotta get stuff done, so I'm just gonna go to bed, and that way we're gonna take care of this. One thing before I do that is this game has a raid system, which early game can be very punishing. So I turned the raid frequency down, because it was like raiding me every other day, and I cannot deal with it right now, because you don't have the materials for it. You're spending so much of your time just fighting bandits, and if you really just want to get down and dirty with them, you can just go hunt them in the woods. I think when you're just starting off and you're trying to get used to the pace of the game, I mean, I can't even imagine even when you're ready for the game that it gets any scenario where it's feels good to be rated on the frequency they raid you at and the numbers they raid you at early game, because researching takes a while. You got to go gather that thing, and then they keep hammering you in packs of like 4 or 5, and unless you just want to get smacked over and over again, turn it to low or turn it off. Right, I turn it to low because I don't mind the raids. I just don't like the frequency. And then the raid strength I left at medium, so it's fine. But you can also put that to easy, right? Or you can put that impossible. And I feel like as my base gets stronger and stronger, then I'll move it to eventually to being possible. I don't think I put it to high though, because that's annoying. I want to go do things, and maybe I'll get to the point where my NPCs can really manage everything on their own. But for now, I don't know if I want to keep it too crazy, because I don't want to have to. I know I have to come back and babysit them at some point. When the raid starts, I got to make sure I'm here, and I don't want to be halfway down the map, raid starting, now I got to hoof it back, or because I don't have fast travel unlocked, right? All right, so we're gonna go take a nap, get our NPC woken up, and then we can do the next step. All right, so the initial traps have been made. The advice I'll give for traps is this. Oh, you put them near bushes. Put them near, because the traps require food to set. So put them near berry bushes. That way, every time they've been set off, you can just instantly gather them again. So I'm gonna put my traps over there. First, I gotta actually get my friend here to make some traps. And how you do that is you go to this side of the bench, and then you tell him to make traps. Now, traps break after a certain amount of uses. So what you do to set this up is you put a trap here. You say top up, and then you put it to, I like to put 4. Say, and in that way, he's going to make sure there's always 4 traps built at all times. And then you can put them down and replenish them and all that. So I like doing it like that. So put it up to 4. Simple axe, we're going to need to make sure we have 2 or 3 made at all times. Primitive clubs, we're gonna make sure we have about 5 of those made at all times, just so we get the club, this so we can have our defenses in place, right? Torches. I don't know how important torches are. I have not actually made any torches, but we're gonna need weapons for the villagers, stuff like that. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna be the ones focusing on making sure these materials are in place. So right now we need a bunch of wood. We need a bunch of stone, stuff like that. So we're gonna go through and do all that. Let's see. So I'm gonna go through and gather. We gather stones right now, and then I'm gonna go through and gather wood. So that's the space of your life for early game is just wood, stone, wood, stone, wood, stone. That's why you got to pick a good starting location to make sure that you're always got steady supply coming in, right? And these young trees are all over the place in this early zone. I'm gonna need to repair soon. Well, it's normal tree, young tree. There we go. Okay, all right. So we're gonna go stockpile the base. I got Lubomir on the upgrading path here. I got him to unlock the standing torch, small traps. What else did I get? I got a few other things here. I got the smoking rack done and the foraging camp done. I'm gonna stop him researching for now because I do need to get the quest going. I need the ability to get more villagers, and that's not going to happen until I finish these beginning quests. And the beginning quest here wants him specifically to make traps, so I'm letting him do these traps here just so I can get this done, and then I'm going to go through and lay them out, do what the quest wants, and then get on the path so I can start recruiting more NPCs. While he's doing that, I'm going to put this smoker down because you want to get the smoking as quickly as possible, because smoking is basically going to keep your food the longest out of anything you can make. Place it right here. What's stopping? There we go, right there. Okay, what do I need for this? Rope, tin. So I can't do tin and all that yet. We'll get the mining cap going to unlock tin in a minute. In a few minutes here. We're gonna finish the foraging camp, which I placed over here, and I have another house going because I know I need more NPCs. Now each house can only hold 2 NPCs. I don't know if that house gets better later on because I haven't gotten that deep into the game, but I know that I need more housing for now just to get my NPCs going. Before I started over, I think I had about... This is not actually gathering. I think I had about five villagers. Yeah, and it was going really well. Like it was basically fully automated at that point, and they were able to handle some raids. So that's why when I went through my table, I would like get a minimum of this many axes because they need the axes to work the lumbering camp. Get a minimum of this many weapons, so when the raids start, they've got weapons, stuff like that, right? Axes can double as weapons, but the construction hammer can't. Pickaxe can also be a weapon, but it's just not as efficient as having an actual weapon, which is at the early game is the club, right? This needs a bunch of logs, and that's why it's a good idea to be right here because I can just put a bunch of logs right away. Your inventory can hold 2 logs, provided you have the space correct. Where's that? So I'm gonna get rid of these little small wood pieces. Well, I'll put them in here. And do I have anything else in here that I don't need? I don't need to keep the seeds. I'm not gonna be able to use them. I can drop all that crap for now. Get them later. So we're gonna go down and just clear cut some logs. Now, what you should keep in mind when you're doing these quests is you don't have to do them all at once. So I did the first part of this quest, which was to give him like 2 of each of these herbs that are in the area. Now the next part of the quest, he wants some pretty pricey items, I would say, this early in the game. Like he wants simple cord, which I don't like giving away, but he also wants 2 logs and 2 pieces of cooked meat. The meat can expire, the logs are huge, but what you can do is you can give him these pieces in sections, and it'll take it off the quest. So you can get your 2 pieces of log, run it back to him, give it to him, that'll remove that part of the quest. When you get 2 pieces of meat that are cooked, you can give it to him also. That will also remove that part of the quest. And you just give it to him in sections. That way you can get it out of the way, because the cooked meat is probably the biggest hassle just because meat expires. But right now I'm going to give him these logs that he wants just so I can get that out of the way. Because I don't want to drag it up the hill here, so I just went to the closest camp. But yeah, you could do these in segments, right? We got our first bit of snowfall. I made sure to get my cloaks in place before that happened. I don't know if it matters too much. It said it warms you up, but it's usually the first thing I make, and I put it on like, I put it on the top up function, so that my guys have it just rolling in. I'm also gonna make these bags. These bags give you enough space to carry one more log, so you can carry 3 logs. However, they don't automatically equip them, so you need to actually go on your own one by one and give all of your workers one of these bags, and it will help them transport more items. So what's that? As for my base, it's coming along nicely. I've got my forager's hut made. I got the house. I got 2 houses going. I got the logging camp going as well. I built the mining camp down here, but we're not using it yet because I don't have my pickaxe yet. I'm also going to build another mining camp right here. And how it works is, the camp itself has its own little radius, and they kind of radiate around it, and then they'll come back to base to sleep here if you want them to, or you can turn that area into an outpost and have them sleep there. But that requires even more in-depth logistics, where you got to start giving controls over to where stuff's going to be shuttled, so you got to build a stockpile to go with it. The stockpiles are these things here. They're your bigger storage camps. They hold a lot more. Usually I put 2 up in the main camp so far. And you can use your stockpiles as relay points. You can say, all right, make deliveries. So you could do a setup where you put a minimum amount of food into another stockpile near, say, a distant camp, like over here somewhere, that has whatever. Or say let's say I put a mining camp here, and then I put a housing right beside it, and maybe a stockpile, and in that stockpile I put a minimum amount of food, and then say it makes weekly deliveries, so it will deliver. The people who work here will deliver all of the ore to my main stockpile where I want it to be. Then they will deliver a minimum amount of food there, so they can stay and live and not have to leave this location. That's something to think about once you have a lot more people that you're working with. Right now I've only got 2. I've been making some tools and weapons together so I can actually go out there and start farming bandits. I have the bow made, but I really want to practice my my sword and board combat, so I'm not going to go over there and use the bow just yet. And if it's too difficult to use the sword and board to level up and farm bandits, then I will eventually fold up and use the bow and do it the way I know works. Because I do need to get this renown coming in. I do need to be able to start hiring people. This has been a while. It's been too long since I've hired another person, and I can't have this holding me back. All right, we're gonna do our first attempt at some sword and board combat. See how this all turns out. Probably gonna die. Probably gonna save scum a bunch of times, just getting used to how the controls work. Melee combat is super hard. There's some bandits. Bandits or the wolves? The shield makes it very easy. Against wolves anyway, as long as I am diligent about my blocking. Well, that's good to know. There's another wolf out here somewhere. Where's he at? Gotta be pretty quick when you read your blocks. So for wolves, a shield makes a big difference there. I do need to cook some of this food, but I don't want to run back to town to do that. Oh, I might as well cook it. What's that over there? Oh, that's my my logging camp. I do want to try and fight a bandit before I go back. Let's see. Let's see if I find any bandits over here. I don't think there's no real directional combat with the blocking. You just have to put it up, and as long as they're coming from the front, it seems like it's gonna block. I don't know if shields break though. I don't see any durability on it. Oh no, there is durability. Okay, so I guess it does break. Oh, there's too many guys there. Oh, that guy's a bow too. See if I can peel some of these guys off. These guys just gangbang on you. Oh, and then one hit clapped. Okay, we're gonna load that up again though. Let's see. I think it's this one's probably the most recent. I probably could do that if I had some food in me and I properly prepared for that. I'm gonna head back out and cook some food and try that again. Second attempt. Went back, ate some food. Right. We're gonna go try this again, see how this goes. They all try to surround you, which is so crazy. But it doesn't seem like you lose any stamina just holding up block, but Jesus. They all try to just get around behind you. Did my shield just break? Oh, holy Christ. Hey, that's so crazy how they just gangbang up on you like that. Yeah, they really gotta fix that. Like, I don't think that's productive combat at all. It's like you're just getting swarmed. They're all this banging on you, and you don't really have any real attack pattern you're doing here. Or like, I don't know, maybe you get to the point where you get better weapons, you can just cut them down in one hit or something like that, so it doesn't really matter. But I haven't found any skills to use, and I just feel like I'm sitting here flailing. And they stay glued to each other's asses, so like you can't even like pull them out one by one. Because you get aggroed by one, the whole camp comes. And you run, and then they all chase you. So you can't even really fight them and peel them out one by one or like that. That's why I was forced to use the bow. Because like the bow is the only way I could really do this crap. So I just kite them down. But I don't want to use a bow. Right. I used it for like 10 hours last time. But it's like I don't want to be an archer, and it seems like melee, there's no real thought put into how melee is supposed to work. My shield literally broke in the span of one fight. That's untenable. Yeah, so we'll see. See what I can actually do here. Should at least be able to hit each other. Like, come on, they're just swinging through each other. Look at this crap. Okay. Let's go see what the damage on that shield is. Oh, it's almost broken. Got like 5 blocks in it before it's almost broken. Like it's like you're forced to do range combat. Like there's no way this is supposed to be how you're supposed to do combat. Like you go in, they just swarm you, and then you try to fight. Like it's crazy. All right, let's just reload this. Yeah, I don't like it. It bothers me that I'm forced to be an archer just to level up properly. But like that's what I had to do the first time I was playing. because melee combat is near impossible to do. Just a note for this quest here, where after you do Amelia's first quest, you kill the band or whatever, and she wants you to come back and give her a quiver and a simple arrow. She'll take an entire stack of arrows from you, but you can also just give her one single arrow. This to save some resources there, but yeah, she does take the quiver also, so you have to make 2 quivers for her, which is kind of annoying. I think that additional pouch is really helpful, because being able to carry back 3 logs, you feel like you're just getting much more done. So I'm over here. I don't want to waste time sleeping, because I feel like it's just not necessary unless you're trying to like progress a quest quickly. There's no point in really sleeping. So what I usually do at night is I will chop down as many trees as I can, and then I'll section them all off into logs, and I'll just spend time just running them back and forth in the lumber camp. So my lumber camp is right over there. Oh, the bushes, they don't respawn berries, but for some reason they still keep the empty bush there, so my camp is kind of like camouflaged in the middle of all the bushes there, but they're there. So I'll cut down all these trees here, and I'll just go through and just chop them up in segments and then run them over to my logging camp one by one until it's full. Then when that's full, I'll run the rest over to the chopping block, and then there. Then that's because you need so much small wood for everything that relying on your guys to do it one by one will just take forever. As you can see, I got a raid coming up soon, so I do need to make some weapons. Hopefully getting all this in there will help them get started, but I need a lot of stone too, so after I chop up all these trees here, I'm gonna go get stone going. But having that 3rd bag is just really helpful. I don't think I'm hitting it. There we go. I'll pick up these just because I have space for all of them, and I'll just go through and just chop the rest up into logs. And then when they wake up, they should be up now. They'll start helping me out by chopping some more logs. And we're gonna, after this raid is done, I'm gonna go through, do some more quests. But I'm at 200 and something renown. The next person I can afford is around almost 300. It's like 297-ish, something like that. So I want to go through and get at least one more person into my camp. I have 3 right now. I got going. I gotta build a few more houses though, just so I can prepare to get. I'm really trying to rush to get 6 going again. That's where I was basically left off at. But I remember how I got there was once I got my combat down, my bow in place, I was able to just super farm bandits for renown. But what I'm going to be doing is spending my time practicing the melee combat. I'm going to try to make a level 2 or a tier 2 weapon, and hopefully with a bit more damage in place, that's going to help me do what I need to do in terms of take out bandits in combat, because I was really struggling right now with what I have now. But right now I don't have a weapon. I have the chopping axe, which doesn't count as a weapon, and I have this shield which is falling apart. But I'm thinking the method of doing this is not supposed to be sitting there and Dark Souls style turtling it up and then holding up the shield, and that's why it's failing, because the shield, it seems to block everything, and it is super powerful. And I am able to take shots in between, so I think if I have a strong enough weapon, I'll be able to take him out quickly. And either way, I gotta get used to the parry system, because I do want to use a 2-hander. I'm not sure how difficult that will be, but that's kind of where I want to get myself towards. So I gotta learn how to do the combat in general if I want to do that. All right. But you can see, like, when you have the little rucksack on you, carrying 3 logs over at a time is so much more helpful than 2. I mean, it's 1 extra log, but it makes such a big difference, because you're basically, most trees cut into 3, right? You're basically able to pull down a whole tree. I think there's another log here. Yeah, this one here. All right, so I basically clear cut this whole forest down myself here. Some of these are, well, I guess I'll do the rest of these, and then we'll get some weapons crafted, and then we'll prepare for this raid. It shouldn't be too big, because I already, oh, my wax broke. I guess that's the last of what I'm doing right now. All right, we'll go repair some stuff, and then I gotta make a few more weapons for my dudes for when this raid starts, and then we'll go from there. Oh, we got the raid coming. If you look at the map here, Either coming from this camp over here. It's gonna be like 3 dudes, right? So I don't have a weapon right now. I have some axes that I have set up in the camp, which I'm gonna use. You also gotta arm your dudes, so you got. I put them all on guard duty, so we can just do the call to arms, and we'll mobilize and pick up whatever weapons they can. But I think all I have is clubs. Everybody should have a club right now. Gonna have to repair this later. I'm gonna use it for now. Throw a quick save in here just in case things don't go well. I don't bother controlling them. When I was doing raids, when they were raiding me before, I just kind of let them do their own thing, and I took over for wherever they were gapping. If they need your help, they're gonna die. They have no armor. They're all basically peasants, right? They're not prepared to fight bandits. Cool. Alright, how far are they? Oh, they are. They're like coming from right through this field here. How many are coming? There's only 2. Oh, that's 3. Okay. Biggest threat there, that dude with the damn 2-hander. He's gonna like cleave through your whole base. Alright, let's see how this goes. Yeah, this ain't gonna go well. Yeah, alright. Reload it. Let's see what I can do here. There's not really much I can do. The early raids are just difficult as hell because it's like, that's why I turned them off, because you don't want to be wasting time fighting them. They don't do much for you, and it just feels like early harassment with them. Because the only weapons you have are clubs, and that's it. It's like you don't. Everything's time based in terms of like, well, not time based, but in terms of how much effort it requires to actually get things going. It's like, how do you properly gear these guys? You really can't, because you don't have enough. You don't have enough weapons in place to do it. Hold on. Let me make sure it's still hold arms on them. They're already mobilized. I can do this one step further. Just throw them into my group so they stay with me, and we kind of just body dump on them. Hold on. Let's see if that helps. I'll just sit with the shield and go double on them. Hopefully they come after me. Leroy's the only person with a weapon, so the rest of these ran off. Alright, let's try again. It's pretty much going how I expect it to go. Just sitting here. I didn't go through and hand off everybody a weapon, which I don't know. I don't have any. Like, I guess I have one more axe somewhere in my logging camp I can probably throw to one of my guys. Maybe it'll help. I think after this raid, though, my efforts are going to be focused heavily on putting gear on everybody. Yeah, here, come here.
I swear, if I see one more rabbit mistaken for an intruder, I'm calling it quits.
On. Take this axe here. Okay, then we gotta do this again. That should be a bit better, just throwing a shitty axe, and I'm gonna go through and just try to craft for everybody a simple weapon. Like, it's so difficult to do this shit. It's almost not even worth the effort this is taking, wasting my time. I'm gonna turn this off and then go through and craft a bunch of shit, and then when I actually have armor for them, then I'll waste my time on this raid mechanic. I really dislike it. I only dislike it because it's like, it's not the damage these guys do. It's not something that you should even be messing with this early on in the game. And who knows, maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but at the same time, I just don't care about fixing it right now, because I don't think it's something that can be really addressed because of how difficult early game combat actually is. See, like, these guys, there's weapons in here. Like, why aren't they taking this stuff? All right. Let's see here. Maybe they won't take it because I don't have a weapon rack. I gotta do the weapon rack and they'll take it from that. All right. Gotta do this. Even though I saved it, as I'm already on my squad.
For honor, for glory.
All right. Since I have to hand them weapons, let's see if they help now. I'll go through and I'll make shields for all of them. Maybe that'll help. They're still getting dummied down, like it's. All right, let's try again. Yeah, let's give one of them the shield. Maybe that'll help. They're just getting dummied down so fast. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? All right, I was on medium before, and medium, like, I was getting raided like every 2 days, some craziness. So I can't imagine how impossible it works. You probably never fucking build anything. I guess now they all have clubs that they're feeling hyper aggressive now. Oh look, they worked it out. Surprised we actually won that one. There's nothing to celebrate though. I still got to figure out a way to do this efficiently, and that's not it. So, we'll go through. Focus heavily on getting everyone some gear. I'm gonna make that weapon rack because apparently they won't take weapons out of the box even though it's there, and then hopefully that changes how this all works. One of my guys went down. Let's see, how does that work? I never actually had a guy die before. Fallen in battle. Will reappear shortly. Okay. Don't have to worry about her at all. Just let her do her thing. Oh, since I have these guys, let's go raid some bandit camps, get some gear, get some renown going, since we're already out here. Let's make a day of it. Eat some of this food I got. This. Can I eat this one? Oh no, it has to be cooked. Okay. That.
How's that new weapon treating you?
Give you this.
No backing down now.
This one. Alright. Alright. I'll run over to this camp over here and just grind them out real quick. Well, I got a good amount of renown from that. See, I'm at 343, so I got like around like 70 or so renown from killing those 3 guys from that raid. Oh, this camp looks like it's very busy. A lot of red dots up there. Oh, she respawned pretty quickly. That's not bad. Okay. I kind of feel like this should be full loot. Like, if these guys are here and they all have weapons and stuff, like, why can't I take them? I need these weapons. I do need some gear. Like, I should be able to strip them. There's another guy shooting at me. Oh. While I reach in, I'll let Doug go pick him up later. Oh, nice. There he is. See him. He's got a bow. I kind of feel like it should be full loot. I think if it was full loot, to be more rewarding. I mean, I guess it kind of would be exploitative because you could just farm gear and be too easy. But I think they should have a chance to drop their gear. I think that would be fair. You gonna fire that thing? There we go. He's got no weapons, so that guy was pretty easy to shut down. Alright. Alright, good. We got some straps. I mean, I kind of wish I did it in a way where I didn't get my 2 guys killed, but, you know, it is what it is. Anything else around here? There's a little box here. Simple cord, simple arrows. That's not bad. Alright. Can I do anything to revive these guys faster? Just, oh, they're not even here anymore. They're just... Alright, we'll just head back to town. Let's take a look at what it says now. Everyone, what? Didn't Maggie respawn? Oh no, she didn't respawn. But her thing went down. Her happiness, I guess, is what you would call it. Yeah. So she dropped down to neutral because she died. All right, let's just miss all these guys. Or did she die on her way over here? Is that her in the middle of the... Oh, this is where... No, this is where the fight took place. So it just shows them in the field still, wherever they dropped. Okay, let's send them all back. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I think you should just turn off rating for now in the beginning, because, like, even though I managed to eventually win, the effort it took to do that was crazy. A lot of saves coming, which is time consuming, and then not only that, we got a victory here, but all my guys are down, so my camp progress has effectively come to a halt until these guys respawn. And it's just, there's better things I could be doing with my time than working out combat. I think I don't want to mess with combat again until I actually have a full set of armor on these guys, and not even that much, just like basic leather crap on them. And then once that's done, then I'll leave raiding going. But now I just gotta basically do random things until I am able to wake my guys up. I use most of these books on myself. I'm gonna use them. Use agility on myself because I feel like it's pretty hard to level up agility. And I'll give hunting to one of my random guys. Alright. Yeah. I gotta figure out how to fish. I haven't figured that part of the game out yet. I only got the pickaxe going, but as you can see, the pickaxe takes forever to mine stuff. That's why it's almost better to just find a place you can pick rocks up from, but you do get a lot more rocks from having a pickaxe. It's just, this is something you really want to have your NPCs doing. Or, you know, macro it or something. This is long and time consuming. Alright. So, just to recap on the base and where I'm at right now. I built up almost all the major structures I've unlocked so far. So I've got the Trapper's Camp here. And what the Trapper's Camp does is, it manages your traps for you. So you can set it up, tell it what food to give it, and then any traps around, it will go through and replace them and fix them and all that stuff there. I just finished building this, so he hasn't gone around and fixed this yet. He says they're all broken, but I have a bunch of traps in the box that I keep going, so he'll go through and eventually fix them all because I have the Trapper's Camp now. And then after that, I built up a bunch of houses here, so I'm going to go through and recruit soon. I have about 500 points. I can get one more person with this. I've also created a little outpost out here, and this is for my mud collector and my mining camp. No one's manning this yet. I'm gonna when I get my new guys, this is where they're gonna go. I'm gonna send 2 guys over here, one that can mine the tin and one that can manage the mud collector. And I think that's it so far. I mean, I've got everything rolling. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to do today. I want to wait until I unlock everything before I go to tier 2. Tier 2 involves building the village hall, but I don't want to build this yet until, honestly, I have nothing left to research in tier 1. I want to unlock all this stuff first before I even consider it, because I feel like I have so much stuff to build that if I go to tier 2 too fast, it'll kind of overwhelm me. And yeah, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I get all this stuff unlocked. I'm waiting till I at least get my farm going well. I can't do this yet because I don't know where garlic is yet. I remember getting it in the first game, and I think I have an idea where it is. So I'm gonna go try to find garlic before I do this, because if I do this without knowing where my source of garlic is at, it's just gonna lock up my research desk. So I'm gonna take that off, and I'm going to research the farm. But I can do that. I can do the farm right now. I just need mud, and I can make mud because I unlocked the farming pit. I just need to actually make the damn shovel first. Let's do that. Let's make a couple shovels. We'll do 2 shovels. We'll put that to the top there. Yeah, so we'll make some shovels. And then after that, oh yeah, I mean, I got the signpost up, so now I can fast travel here. I have the weapon racks here, and this can hold up quite a bit of weapons, so when these guys need to get tools, they'll come here and get tools. So hopefully this helps make it so that when I do put them as guards, they're a bit more useful. I have gone through and given them all bags, so that double the inventory. When you put a bag on them like that, it gives them more inventory space so they can carry more stuff around. So yeah, it just, so far this is working out really well. Yeah, when I come back later this week, I'm going to continue going. I'm probably going to be tier 2 the next video I make. And then I'm still learning combat. I'm going to go through and really figure it out. That way I don't get too frustrated with melee combat, because I do want to learn how to do it correctly. I'm pretty sure there is some kind of system. I'm just not seeing it. I'm going to start with going back to the first town and buying all the training books and maybe getting to level 3 or so. And then hopefully that makes a big difference. But we'll see. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. This is BELLWRIGHT. Thank you guys for dropping by. I appreciate you guys for giving me your time. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna keep this one going. I'm gonna give a few more episodes. I really am enjoying BELLWRIGHT. Have yourselves a good morning, guys. And if this is the only video you watch of me today, a good afternoon or a good night.